love listening to our theme music. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. Welcome to another edition of Let Us Make Man. Jock Brothers presents Let Us Make Man. I am your host, Brother Jackie Muhammad, and we have an exciting show for you tonight. Highly anticipated, been thoroughly asked for, so we got it for you, Jock Nation. But before we get to our special guests, let me introduce some wonderful brothers who I've had the pleasure of working with, going hard. And I'm talking about we go hard all week, every day. I mean, we so these brothers here, if you want some good brothers on your team, these are some good brothers to have. Let me introduce my brother who is homegrown right here in Atlanta, Georgia, Brother Kawhi Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam, sir. Thank you, Brother Jackie. This is a show that I must honestly say that is long overdue. It's nowhere in the world we are approaching 3 years with Jock Brothers and haven't had this great brother on our show. And so today we end that drought. We have one of the greats. I'm looking forward to it. Jock Nation, please share the show. Please share the show. Please share the show. Thank you there, Brother Jackie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And my next brother, my brother from another mother. We're part of the dark skin community. It's my brother Ahmed B.I. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam. My name is Brother Ahmed. We thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us tonight. Yes, sir. Like the brother said, we have a great show for you tonight. So please tune in. Jock Brothers can be viewed all over the world. If you have YouTube, the Jock Brothers can be viewed all over the world on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram at Jock Brothers. At Jock Brothers. You can pull us up. You can view us, all of our previous shows, new shows, up and coming shows. We're worldwide at Jock Brothers. You can also view some of our previous shows on jockbrothers.com, jockbrothers.com. Please take time to support us at Cash App, Jock Bros, $ Jock Bros. Our Cash App is $ Jock Bros. You can support us. We have a prison initiative where we're pushing the baddest Black-owned newspaper, The Final Call, behind prison walls. We're trying to get information to our brothers and sisters as they're either dealing with their sentence behind and striving to rehabilitate themselves. We're striving to get the final calls to them. So you can help us by donating finances to $ Jock Bros and sending in any information of your family members and friends, any information that can help us reach them at jockbrothersviewers@gmail.com, at jockbrothersviewers@gmail.com. Thank you all for taking your time out of your busy schedules. Back to you, Brother Jack.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have the pleasure tonight of presenting to some and introducing to others a highly decorated soldier in the martial arts community, in the Nation of Islam community, a Marine, former Marine or former police officer, a brother, a husband, father, a fighter. His name is Brother Sijo Sabir Muhammad. Born in Mississippi in the 1930s. Our brother is a 10th degree black belt, grandmaster. He is the co-founder of the Black Karate Federation. From his days as a tournament competitor with an unrivaled championship record, 9 times international champion. In short, he is a warrior and a true gentleman. Like I said, he was born in, I guess it's pronounced Indianola, Mississippi.
Oh, that's real. Oh, I saw that before. I've been there before.
Yes, sir. He is the youngest of several siblings. He was raised in a tight-knit and fairly athletic family, but he got his exposure to fighting early on because his mother, to keep all her boys in line, she developed a mean right hook. In high school, Brother Sabir became an outstanding athlete who excelled in football, baseball, and track. He later attended Kansas State University on a football scholarship before leaving to join the Marine Corps. As a member of the Pathfinders in the Marines, he received his first real exposure to martial arts. Training with the Pathfinders was similar to training with Green Beret. His training was eventually interrupted with a tour of duty in Vietnam. Oh, wow. He said the experience of fighting in Vietnam gave him discipline and a firsthand look at the reality and brutal effectiveness of combat. After his enlistment was over in 1963, Brother Sabir returned to California and immersed himself in the study of Kempo. During the early days of the sport, karate, he faced renowned fighters as Joe Louis, Al Dacascos, Chuck Norris, and many other tournament fighters. They regarded our brother as the fastest hands in karate. And the late Bruce Lee said he had the fastest hands he had ever seen. Our brother joined the Nation of Islam in 1984, which I want to get into some of that talk in California, some of the experience out in California in the Nation of Islam. Became Stephen Muhammad, or Sabir Muhammad now. Major accomplishment, he received the title Sijo from the Asian community worldwide in 2006, which means founder and creator of a complete science. It's a big title. Our brother has 64 years in training in karate, and he's currently training right now. I mean, I know several of his students, and I commend that. I love to see when we do not let our talents go into ways, we give them to the people, man. So, Jock Nation, man, give us a round of applause to our brother. Welcome to our brother Sabir. Brother Sijo Sabir Muhammad. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much for having me, my brother. I am honored to be on your show. And you tell Ahmed, I've been asking him to invite me for about 10 years now.
Yes, sir. What brother, I mean, we want to start, you know, you were raised in Mississippi in the 30s. Man, how was that experience?
Oh, my brother. We were slaves, except for they didn't call us slaves. They called us sharecroppers.
Yes, sir.
But being a sharecropper, my mother and father never had money. They gave them little books like that have stamps in it.
Yes, sir.
And on each one of those little pages, it had $5, $10, 50 cents, or $1, or $2. That's how you paid your bills. But that came from the sharecrop owner. So he never paid any money out. And the store that we went to was his store.
Oh, wow. Yes, sir.
So he just circled whatever he had among himself. But back in that days, you know, the things were pretty harsh. And sometimes I hate talking about it.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't have to go there. I mean, I know you had to straighten one of them out before, though. I did get a whip of that story. You had to straighten one out, but we don't have to go there. So we can fast forward. let's fast forward to your time as in the military. That experience there, did that prepare you for your fighting style? Did that prepare you for where you are now?
No, sir, but it did give me the discipline to be able to, whatever I start, I will never give up on it, and I will see that it's accomplished. So in the military, the first thing they did was they broke us down. And when they break you down, boot camp was like 4 months. So when they break you down to 0. Then they start to go like 1, 2, 3, say up to 10. Then they build you back up at that certain time that you've been in boot camp. And the way they did it is that at a certain point, you hated being in boot camp. You didn't like nothing about it. But the way they built you up, after a while, it started giving you energy and motivation. I got to accomplish this. I can make this. I can do this, because it was very hard. By the time it was time to graduate, you actually, when they start, the first time they call you a Marine, because for 3.5 months, they never call you a Marine. They call you everything but a Marine. But after that time, the first time you heard Marine, you didn't know who they were talking to. But before the 2 weeks were up, before graduation, man, we had our chest out like we had really accomplished something, and we had. Because Marine Corps boot camp is about the hardest boot camp you can actually go through.
That's right.
There's none harder than that boot camp.
Well,
And if you make that, you've accomplished something. And I can say that when they say the word, once a Marine, always a Marine, I am that, with an understanding as to who I really am.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, I mean, the title of this show is The Science of Fighting. And I understand that you did some training today as well. I think you was training some students today as well. So we want to go ahead and get into the science of fighting, man. I have some questions. I got a cheat sheet. You know, I had to do some studying on you. I got a cheat sheet for you on you. You know, some questions dealing with your style. What do you call your style of fighting?
It's not a style. It's actually a science.
Okay, the science. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My understanding of the difference between style and system, style stays as it is. A science never ends.
Yes, sir.
So this is a science for fighting. Now, what was the question again? Because
what is your science called?
Oh, the name of my science is Kim Wing Tai Bak. And what that means, Kim is for Kempo, Wing is for Wing Chun, Tai is for Tai Chi, Ba is for boxing. I use Kempo for my base or foundation, Wing Chun for trapping and center line, Tai Chi for footwork and fluidity, boxing for hand speed and targeting.
Whoa.
Yeah, I have a question on that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then in your bio, you said you started off as Kempo. That you immerse yourself in that. Would you call Kempo a science?
Yes, it is a science, but it is the base in which I have for my science for fighting.
Right.
It wasn't fighting at the time, but I had to develop a fighting science from that base. Nobody actually teach you how to fight. They teach you movements that you develop into a science for fighting, if you understand.
No, I got you. It just okay with it. I was just looking at this, right? It'll paint a picture to me like, okay, that was a shortcoming in Kempo. And no disrespect to the science, but for you to, I guess, redevelop it or add to it, would you say you added to it because that was, I guess, something in Kempo that didn't necessarily complete the job how you wanted it completed?
Well, I didn't know in the beginning. So that base of foundation is what I use. But I ventured out one day and I went to Ark Wong School, which teach Wing Chun. And I saw them making movements. And he told me, he knew me as a champion at the time I went by his school. He says, "Oh, Steve, come out. I would like to teach you a little Wing Chun.
Wow, man.
We need it. Well, he's still there. Okay, he's muted. You're muted, sir.
Can we unmute him?
I could try. Hold on a second.
No, I think they have to unmute him.
I got it.
He still talk. We gotta get him.
You can't unmute him. You only can mute him. Brother Sabir, if you can hear us, you're muted. Hit Khaled.
Yeah, call it, man.
Yeah. Let him know he's muted. Wow, man, this is a full science. It's not a style. See, the language is important.
Right.
The language is important, and I see, I have to make sure we get the language right. So, very, very good point. Look, Jock Nation, if you have any questions dealing with this fighting science, please send your questions in. Our brother has 64 years of experience of training and conditioning. He's still training and conditioning our brothers and sisters here in Atlanta and all over. So definitely, if you want to get in any information, please send those questions in.
To make them appear slow in making movements. And the way you do that in our science for fighting, you have distance, angles, timing, and targeting. Everybody in the world that is a human being use that method all day long. Every time you move, you're going to go a distance, you're going to take angles, you're going to take time to get there, and the target is whatever it is, even if it's a drink of water. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We use that method all day long, so I found, why not use that in the science of fighting? Distance, angles, timing, and targeting. So I put that into our science for fighting. And before we get started, I would like to say that I have created a mathematical science for fighting.
Yeah.
That can be actualized 100% true, accurate, and precise, absent of doubt or fear. Listen to the language that
supreme wisdom.
Yes, sir.
That
has the ability to speak a water language of pure fluidity and natural freedom by flowing, shifting, changing, and creating, which is adaptability. It has the ability to seek and conform. Seeking I use for offense. Conforming I use for counter offense. Water and the science that I use for fighting has no defense.
Yeah.
So I put water on defense. Do you understand what I'm saying? So anytime you throw something at me, I will conform and send something back at you. I will not block it or go on defense. Now, in our science for fighting, I teach the student the thought of losing, quitting, or having doubt does not exist in my head, my heart, nor my weapon science. If there is doubt, there is no doubt. I'm going to make or find another way. And there's always, always, always another way. This is what I teach in our science for fighting, plus the pure science fighting.
Yes, sir. You use interesting language just then. You said, this is what I go for offense and counter offense. You did not use the term defense. So you don't believe in going on defense. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir. When they put you on defense, you got a problem.
Come on now.
If you're on offense, then he's got a problem. So if you use a water language, you cannot put water on defense. It's going to make or find a way. Some guy told me, he says, well, they put a dam up and they stop water. I said, they do not. At some point, because that water keep coming, you're going to have to let some of that water out of there. It'll tear that dam down.
That's right.
See?
Yes, sir.
So it doesn't stop. You just can't see that it's moving. But it rolls in, boom, hit that dam, go back out, boom, hit that dam, go back, and it go on forever as long as that water's running.
Now this this art that you developed, the science,
Science.
excuse me, the science that you developed, it did it come from your journey in training or your journey in fighting?
It came from my journey in Islam.
Hmm.
Mm.
When I went into Islam, the first thing that I heard, Islam is mathematics, and mathematics is Islam. And to study just those words that is said, then you find out that everything that comes into existence is through a mathematical code. If you use those mathematical codes, you can accomplish anything that you choose to do. Mathematics is 100% true, accurate, and precise if it's done right. And once I found that everything that you do, I started learning about distance, angles, timing, and targeting. That is mathematics.
Yes, sir.
And the brain has the ability to read a language. When you fight someone, the brain can read that language. He speaks a language of front, back, right, left, and in between those movements, front or back, in between those movements. Those are the four movements in which he used all, not some of the time, anytime. Like a dude said, well, I don't have to lean if I can move my head to the side. I said, did you go left? He said, well, yeah, I went left. I said, that's a language.
Mm.
If I punch at your face and you lean back, that's a language. But then it becomes a thing of targeting, distance, angles, timing, and targeting. I shoot a punch at your face with my left hand, you lean back, I'll hit you down in your body because that's what you presented to me. Do you understand? That's a
Yes,
language.
yes, sir.
If I punch at your face and you lean back, punch you with a left hand and you lean back, I'll continue that hand with a slap. Punch it, I miss you. Boom! Then I'll come and attack your face. Now, those things is something that you have to learn. And I learned those from Kempo, Wing Chun, Tai Chi, and boxing. When you saw me put in the insert and then behind that insert, I followed. That came from a speed bag. Bang, 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 bang. It comes from a speed bag. So when I hit it was bang, bang, real quick, and then you can come back up into the body. But then I use angles. The body speaks a language, so when you hit it straight in front, it'll come down straight in front of you. It may turn a second later, but when you hit, it's going to follow that striking line. If you hit me on my right side of the body, which is over here, and you hit me in the body, I'll lean in the direction in which you hit me. I may turn and go backwards or something, but first I'm going to make that angle that is presented through that pain. I depend on that, and it is absolutely the way the body functions.
Yes, sir.
I've never seen anybody get poked in the eye and he leaned forward. If you poke towards my eyes, which way do I go?
Back.
You go back. You may turn your head to the side, either side, but you're going to go back.
Yes, sir.
I hit you in the stomach. You're not going to lean back. You're going to do what?
Bang down, bang down.
Yeah, you're going to come forward. And I'm in control of that. If I hit you cross face, you start to turn. I don't want you to turn that far. Hit you cross face and I'll stop your shoulder with the same hand I hit you with. And then I'll break that shoulder. Do you understand?
Man, I understand. I don't want none of you. I understand. Well, I don't want no problem. Oh man! But I hear when, as you're talking and you're moving your hands, I can hear a rhythm with your hands. You know, as you're talking, I can hear your rhythm. Do you use the sound as well? Is that part of the language? Like when you, sir?
Yeah. What I use is the rhythm of the original man, which is a 4-count rhythm. And I learned that. I was with Minister Farrakhan one day, and we were doing security on him. He's inside the building, and we're outside the building talking because he didn't need any security inside. So you know me, I got to talking about and demonstrating karate.
Yes, sir.
And this guy was looking out the window, so he came out and he says, "Hey, Steve," he says, "Man, did you know that you have a rhythm?" that has a beat to it that we use in music? I said, no, I didn't know that. He said, the black man or black people in general have a 4-count beat that they use in their movements, whether they're dancing or fighting or whatever they do. That 4-count beat is within us. We don't really know ourselves. We don't know the God that is in us. But
Yes, sir.
that 4-count beat, I realized when he was talking to me that when he played it on the piano, and I could see what he was talking about. I just didn't understand that I was actually doing it. But it's in all of us. We need that for. That's why we dance so good. When you get on the dance floor with a sister and she started making her movements and stuff, you can jump in there and get right with that rhythm. See? Because she has a 4-count and so do you. You get someone that's not one of us. Say, for instance, get out on the floor and try to dance with a white woman. She'll make you fall all over the place trying to follow her.
She got that 4-count. Yes, sir.
That's right. She doesn't have that beat.
Yes, sir.
Now, part of your science also, brother, is that you're able to slow your opponent down.
No, not slow him down. You can make him appear slow. There's a method in fighting. You can be fighting somebody, and it comes as you train and train and train. It's like, I don't know if you can see this.
Man, I need to hey, text him again, brother.
Connected.
This is,
Oh,
I mean, this is serious.
He's there.
This is serious work right here, brother.
He's there.
Science.
Yes, how
You
you
got-
can do
okay.
that. How you can do that is that I was fighting one day, and I had been used to seeing the hand when it get about 12 inches from my face. I could actually pick it up and move my hand to my body quick enough to check that blow to keep it from hitting me. And I remember fighting one time. I didn't see it at 12 inches. I saw it at almost a yard. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
I thought it was here at 12 inches. So I tried to block that, and the punch hit me in the face. And I went, whoa, why didn't I block that? That is because now I'm seeing it earlier, which made it appear to be slower. Do you understand?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Right. It is the distance. That's why I put distance as number one. Because if you pick up the distance, you can pick up any movement. But if you don't pick up the distance, you don't know where the heck it is.
Let me ask you this: in the science where you're saying that quitting, having doubt doesn't exist, where does, because fear is a real emotion, where does fear set in all this?
When I was a police officer, I had a lot of fights. I mean, a lot of fights, because we were trying back in the day when we were coming up. We tried not to hit them with the sticks and stuff. They would tell you, take that gun off and that badge off, and I'll do this to you and do that to you. So me and my partner Cross, I take it off, and look around and put it in the back of the car. We'd walk up in between two buildings, handle a little business,
Yes.
So you learn a lot about fighting. And what I had to learn is that fighting in a long time, you don't have that kind of time in fighting in the street. I set up a understanding of fighting is between 3 and 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And within that 3 and 5 seconds, that's a long time. 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. Heck, I can probably throw 5 or 6 punches and kick 3 or 4 times in that 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000.
Yes, sir.
So that's a long time. So I said, you take your opponent out between 3 and 5 seconds. You can take them out much earlier than that if you can strike. But you have to build the science in which you want. It's like to break the body down in such a way where you can break it down where it gives up or it doesn't want to fight anymore. You have the ability to do that according to the understanding as to how to strike them. When you hit them, you break them. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You take everything away from them but pain. And no man No man, no man. I said that 3 times because that's trial on your backside.
Ah, man, come on, man. I need this. I'm into this, man. This is wonderful, Jock Nation. You have any questions?
One thing I learned when I started to train with you, because I had taken boxing before, was the power that you build, that you have in, that you teach us to use, that power. So in boxing, you hit him with a strong right hook, or you hit him with the body, but you develop a certain kind of power behind your strikes. And could you explain a little bit of that?
You know, in whatever we do, whatever we wish to do, there's always a way. And I was fighting in East LA, and I was fighting these Mexican brothers, and they would fight me all day. I'd be so tired I couldn't hardly get home, man. I'm fighting them Mexican. I said, there's got to be some way that I can stop them from fighting so long. So I got hurt while I was over there. They put me in the hospital, and they said, we're going to give you 3 months off, and you do what you want to do for that 3 months because you've been hurt. So in that 3 months, I practiced. And what I practiced was what you call torquing power, how to torque and how to hit. I gave it that name as I began to develop some power. And I was a kind of like a one-sided fighter with a left hand forward, right hand back.
Yes, sir.
And I found that as I was training, I became ambidextrous. There is no right and left. The Creator didn't give you right and left. He only gave you hands or feet. We gave it left and right.
Yes, sir.
So you have the ability to become ambidextrous in fighting. But within that, learning how to hit and hitting with torquing power, I found that you can use the shoulders, the waist, the hips, and then the fist. And you can put 2 torques in the fist. So when I hit you with one side of my body, I can put 5 torques into that one side of my body to hit you with. And I can hit you with every pound that I weigh, along with hitting you with those 5 torques. That, as of right now, I'm not saying other people can't hit you and break your jaw, hit you in the ribs and break your ribs, but there is a way that you can develop power that every time you hit, you can break them down to a minus sign when you hit. I mean, you can, like I said, you can hit them so hard. Like this one guy I was fighting one day, I hit him about 3 times. He never got a chance to hit me. And when he went down on the ground, he was saying something to his friend. He was telling his friend that he didn't want to fight anymore. And when his friend came over and said to me, he said he doesn't want to fight anymore. So I said, okay. He said, you felt like, he said, I felt like he was taking my heart away from me. And when you can do that, you can hit. You hear what I'm saying? When
yes, sir.
You hit him, you take everything away from him but pain.
But pain. Leave him with pain.
That leaves with pain.
Yes, sir.
And I used the term when I hit. I said, when I hit him, I hammered that sucker. Boom! And I put everything. I put all of me. If I weigh 165 pounds, I hit you with 100% of that 165 pounds, and I reached down and grabbed some of the earth to help me with it. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Now I noticed you're a little guy.
Look out now.
I bring him over there. I bring him over there. Don't worry.
Now, in terms of fighting the big guys, like say the 200 pluses, the 220s, that had skills, that had like martial arts skills. That was, I mean, what was your take on fighting somebody that would say 50 pounds, 60 pounds, bigger than you, that knew the arts?
Yes, sir. It doesn't matter, because what you do is you train to overcome. And coming up, you have to fight guys that are 6'3", 6'4", that weigh 240 pounds or more. You have to learn how not to, like a guy my size, he can throw a punch. I can actually check that and stop it. A guy that weighs 240 pounds, that's as fast as I am, he throw a punch. I have to redirect that. I can't let that power hit me.
Yes, sir.
So you have to be able to learn to redirect. And it doesn't matter how big he is and how much power he got. If he throws a punch at some point, you can redirect it. But
So that's
when
that
you
distance.
that's right. When you
Yes, sir.
redirect it, you must be able to send something that can hurt him. That's why I developed torquing and
Torque.
hitting power. There's no man, no size. I was getting ready to tell you about Shaq because he used to, Shaquille O'Neal. I met him through Wesley. Every time he asked, "Who's this young man here?" But Wesley said, "This is my bodyguard." So you can imagine what he thought about me.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So every time after that, when he saw me, he would come pick me up. I'm looking in his face. I say, "Shaq, please, but put me down," like a little punk or something. But he always picked me up. He asked me what I could do against a man the size of him.
Yes, sir.
He said, "Would you be able to defend yourself?" And I said, "Yes, sir. I've been in the art now for right now, probably about 40 some years, if not longer than 40 some years. I've developed a science for fighting whoever gets in front of me. There's no man that's standing in front of me that I cannot hurt. There's no man that's standing in front of me that if he weighs 110 pounds or he weighs 250 pounds, he's got the same rib cage. He's got the same eyes, the same chin, except for it might be bigger. If you understand the distance angles, that's why I put them in order. The distance in which you're going to hit him with. I have a 12-inch fighting sign. The angle that I'm going to hit him with is either 45 or 90 degrees. I never use anything other than 45 or 90 degrees. Forearm, elbows, knees, stomps, everything is 45 or 90 degrees.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And when you can do that, you can break his ribs, his foot, his legs, his arm, his jaw, his head. His head the same as yours. If you
Break his head.
palm him in the center of his head in the front and make the brain hit the sides of the walls of the head of the skull, it will knock him out. It doesn't matter how big he is or how bad he is. If he get hit that way, he's going out just like the one that weighed 145 pounds, which is me.
Yes, sir.
But
Now you said something about torquing though. I want to go back to the torque. I think you gave it a number. Did you say like 2 torque or 5 torque or something like? Did you say that, sir?
I can put 5 torques in one strike: the shoulder, the waist, the hips, and I can put 2 torques within my hands. And I have to be able to make all 5 torques meet in the same place at the same time to get 100% of that power.
Yes, sir. That's science right there, brother. I mean, yes, sir. So we bringing everything to the hands right here, and we gonna send this over, and we gonna give you everything, and we gonna take from you everything except pain.
That's right.
So at what age? At what age? Like, did you like? Because I remember you in the movie Enter the Dragon. I saw you directing or instructing a whole class of students, and you was pretty young then. So it's safe to say, even though you was pretty young, you were still regarded as, I guess, one of the top martial art guys
I
at a
can't
very
hear
young
you.
age. So my question is, like, so at what point? I mean, so let's just say you was 20 something at that time, 22, 23, 24. That means you had to have earned that reputation. Oh man, he gone. Oh, there you go, right there. Okay. So at what age did you really start competing, or that you knew that you could compete and win on that level?
I started learning that as a white belt. At the school that I went to, which was one of Ed Parker's school, or in what's the name of that city off of? I can't even think of the city right now, but it's out near the beach.
Long Beach?
No, it wasn't Long Beach. It's
Orlando?
You know, Santa Monica. It was Santa Monica. I went to a school there, and I was the only black that came to that school. When I went in, I could tell that some of the white people didn't want me there, you know. And I asked Danny Inosanto, which is a well-known uh, uh, martial sciences. I asked him if I could join. He says yes. And when I joined, I didn't really know about karate in that way. I had studied a little bit in Okinawa when I was in the Marine Corps, but I didn't know how to use it in fighting. For about the first 6 months, they beat me up in every class. All the blood on the wall or on the floor, it belonged to me. They stopped me for about the first 6 months because I didn't know anything about karate.
Yes, sir.
Until one day I got ready to fight, and this big white boy named Scotty Lauren. I'll never forget that white boy.
Yeah, you look like you had that look on your face, like if you walk in the room right now. Yes, sir.
But he used to stomp me into the ground. He kicked me while I was on the floor and everything, and I couldn't do nothing about it because
Yes.
everybody was way ahead of me. But one day I got in front of him, and I said, he moved at me, and I shifted back out of the way, and I went, whoa. And I'm thinking, I actually saw that. Usually he just grabbed me and threw me on the floor and just pound me. But this time
Oh man, he got to get that story.
Yeah, just Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Yeah, he got to get that story in. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's too much science. It's too much science, brother. We torquing. We
Right,
sending 5 torques.
Right.
All right, yes, sir.
Can you start that over when you did like that and take it from right there?
Yeah.
I said that when he moved at me, I saw him for the first time. And when he moved, I shifted back and I thought, whoa, I saw that. And he kept moving at me and I kept shifting away. He said, stand still and fight. You know, I said, this white boy must be crazy. I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to let that white boy grab me and pound me into the ground. After about, I would say about a minute and a half, I decided I'm going to see if I can just touch him somewhere. So I made a front hand and I touched him on the forehead. I mean, touch on the forehead. That white boy became angry and came at me. I turned around and took off running. He started chasing me, and they stopped him, you know, and grabbed him and said, whoa, why you want to hurt him like that, you know? So they let us get back in line so that we could fight again. I said, well, I got a hand in, so I'm going to try and kick him. I kicked him and I hit him in the inside of his leg. And once again, he came at me trying to kill me. And I was close to the wall, and I didn't know I was close to the wall. So when I turned to run to get away from him, my hands hit the wall. I looked over my right shoulder, and there was a fist coming. I went to my left side. This guy knocked a hole in the wall with his fist. And they grabbed him and pulled him away. You know, and they stopped it then because they could see that he was trying to damage me. You know? And so they stopped it. I realized then I can see movements. And before I couldn't see them. And I kept that in my mind. If I can see movements, I can keep them from hurting me. So, but
yes, sir.
Once I got into it, and I would like to say this, once I got into Islam, my whole science for fighting changed. Because of the mathematical code that I had heard and moving into the nation. The languages in which I use now, the science of fighting, all of that, it comes from going into Islam in 1984, which I went into and started. And even the thought of losing, quitting, or having doubt, all of that information comes from Islam. If there is doubt, there is no doubt. You make or find another way. And when you fight, absent of doubt or fear, do you know what kind of soldiers you have when you have soldiers that are absent of doubt or fear? That when we were getting ready to fight the police one day, the reason why they didn't fight us, it was 19 of us. And we were lean and mean. We were hard, brother. We trained hard. You could, when we walk down the street and you get behind us, you can see the muscles in our back ripping through our suits. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
They knew that when we got in front of them, they were talking about arresting us, slamming us on the ground, and doing what they want to do to us until they walked up on us. They didn't do anything, and they walked away. And the lieutenant came back and he said, the men were talking. He said, they could feel that you had no fear of them.
Mm.
You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
He said, we believe that you guys were going to fight us. And I said, all praises due to Allah that he helped you out because we were going to try to kill you. Not just fight you, we were going to try to kill you. We had intended to send a message to the police department. You don't put your hands on no Muslim. We don't break no laws. So therefore you can come and talk to us. If there's someone among us that's guilty, you can take him because we don't have that kind of person within our nation.
Yes, sir.
And we
Okay. Who? Man. Okay. I want to go back to torquing.
Yes, sir.
This is important, man. I mean, because if someone is small or feel that they don't have any power or strength, so you've developed a science where it doesn't matter the size, but it's the body that creates the torque or the power that you need to do what you need to do to get someone up off of you. Is that correct?
That is correct. But you have to use that distance, angles, timing, and targeting, and using angles of 45 and 90 degrees. And anybody can learn that. Anyone, male or female. A woman can develop a fighting science that can hit as hard as a man. She just can't take the punch of a man. She's not built for that.
Yes, sir.
But as far as learning to hit and hit like a man, and I teach the sisters, you hit like a man and you walk away like a lady.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't know if we asked this, but how do you speak the water language?
Yeah. The water has the ability to flow, shift, change, and create, which is adaptability. When you get on that floor and start to dance, brother, do you flow, shift, change, and create?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. When a guy get on the basketball court, he flow, shift, change, and create if you have to. Football. Now, everything that you do, you have the ability to flow into those moves. Or track man, if you watch him, that sucker flows when he moves down that track field.
Absolutely.
So you have to bring everything in order. And when I tell the men that I train, if we go somewhere and it's chaos, we bring chaos under control by killing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
If there's
Yes,
20 of them there, you knock down 8 or 9 or 10 of them. As soon as you get there, you can bring it under control.
everything. Yes, sir. All right. Go ahead, Ahmed.
And we were talking about torquing power.
Yes, sir.
Every movement that I hit, it's like if you shoot something and I check it with the backhand and shoot cross face, I make that weapon fit that target. And I go cross angle to make sure that when I hit you, your body speaks the language that I want it to speak. See? And if it doesn't, I don't care because I see, hear, taste, touch, smell, and sense at an average speed of 24 billion miles per second.
Yes, sir.
And there's nothing in front of me that's going to move faster than that because my brain can react to that kind of speed. When I hit you, I can actually stop you in areas in which I want to be able to damage you as you move. And when I put pain on you, I can stop you. If I don't put pain on you and a man your size, you want to turn your shoulder, you can turn it because I can't stop you at my weight. But I put pain on you for, say, a second, 1/1000. I can stop and control you in that 1/1000. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And send you in another direction. And you have to be able to do that. And like I said, the angles in which we hit with, I can hit you with a punch into the body. When I do, your head will fall towards the line of the arm that hit you. I can pop that with my arm for your head fall this way. I can pop it and send it over here. But I have to pop it a certain distance. So when I pop it over, I can now go boom and follow that angle. Do you understand?
Yes.
And when I follow that angle, I can also hook you with the right hand, hit you with the right hand, hook it, push it down a little bit. Use a forearm, boom, and come down on you with that forearm into your neck or into the side of your face or into the collarbone over here and break it. And even with my weight, it only takes 60 pounds of pressure to break any bone in your body.
Right.
And like I said, I weigh between 140, maybe 140, and maybe a little bit over 140. But the power that I was generating when I weighed 165, I generate
At
close
140.
to 100 times more power than I generated at 165, because now I have knowledge as to how to damage you.
Dang.
And that's what you want to be able to do. When you hit him, you hurt him. I can't say that enough, that when you hit him, you break him. I don't mean just breaking the bones. You do that too. But you break him. You take everything away from him.
Except pain.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, I wanted to get into kind of like the evolution of martial arts throughout the years. So, how do you? In the 70s, it became very popular, and then the trend kind of slowed down. How do you see martial arts from then till now, especially with your training? I mean, training students, new students, up until today.
Back in the day when we first started, we learned to use the martial science in a fighting way, actual fighting against another opponent in a tournament or either in the street. But even in the tournament, we fought. We didn't have no gloves or nothing to fight with. We fought with our bare hands. And if I hit you and knock one of your teeth out, I'll apologize. And you accept that, because we're not trying to kill each other, but we are playing a game. And we want to learn how to actually actualize. Actualize means real. So we want to learn how to fight for real. Now, today, they don't really learn. It's more of a game. When you see small children today and they're learning something about the martial science, they have them go by, hit a little thing that might move. They go over and let you run over and kick a little something that might move. They may have you to jump over a stick or something like that. They'll put a board on 2 bricks and let you hit the board with your hand that actually you just put it together and it'll just fall apart when you hit it. That's not teaching a science for fighting. That's teaching you how to play. So the children of today don't really know how to fight. They don't know how to take from someone when you fight them. That is the whole idea. Like when I was in Nam, we took positions from the men. We didn't ask him for it. We went there and took those positions over his life and over our lives. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yes, sir.
That's why I use the word take everything away from him, but pain.
That pain.
Because I've been there. I've seen that. I've done that.
Yes, sir.
And I teach that to the brothers and sisters in the nation that I'm teaching.
Yes, sir.
And now today, everyone's just carrying weapons. So hey, why do I need to train when I could just shoot somebody?
That's right. That's what the children are saying today. And because America's been weaponized now, so you have to know what you're doing. If I don't have a weapon on me and someone say something to me, as long as he allowed me to walk away, I'll walk away. But if you let me get within arm's reach, you got a problem, because that gun becomes mine too if you got one on you.
It's a wrap. Come on, man. You
So,
are a weapon.
That's right. And you have the ability to kill if you choose to do so. You can learn to kill as fast as a gun. There are parts of the body that if you learn how to hit them, and listen to what I'm saying, you can do something to someone and he'll die a year later. You can do something to someone, he can die 3 months later, but you must know where to hit them in order to bring that about. How do they, I don't know if I should say this, but how can they charge you a year later for something that you did a year ago?
Yes, sir.
And there is no evidence of it. that you can actually see. Even if you just hit him and don't really hurt him that bad, you can hit him in those spots, and you can actually take his life, and it'll take a certain amount of time. It can be 3 minutes, it can be 3 hours, it can be 3 days, 3 months, or 3 years.
Yes, sir.
Depending on where you hit him at.
All right, and that was one thing that I really wanted you to touch on as well, because we spoke about the torquing, we spoke about the power, but you really emphasize targeting. You really emphasize the points and where to hit and how to hit them.
That's right. When you fight, listen to distance, angles, timing, and targeting. And I make the weapon actually fit the target. I don't just throw it, hit you in your ribs. I put the knuckles into your rib to break them. And the angle in which I use to break them, make the angles. If you have your hand like this open, these are your rib cage. When I hit up in a motion that bring those ribs together against each other. And when you do, you can break them or bruise them. You cannot move either way, broken or bruised. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You
Yes, sir.
immobilize him by that. When I hit you in the jaw, I hit you, take it down, and I send it down at a 45-degree angle. I don't just punch you in the jaw. I hammer down into the jaw with that, which means that I'll break your jaw. Even if I don't have humongous power, just the angle that I send it, I'll move this jaw over on this side of your face. Do you understand? And
Yes,
you
sir.
can do that. If when you hit, I weigh 140, I'll drop 140. I don't just hit with this hand. I go boom and drop my weight into your jaw.
Come on now.
Drop my weight into your rib cage. Drop my weight into your sternum. And I pick the areas and all over your body, like from the groin to the pelvic area, to the solar plex, to the sternum, to right and left shoulders. Those are some of the most dangerous parts of your body. You turn them around in the rib cage, the lung, the kidneys, and everything. But mainly, I don't pick the lungs and the kidney that much unless I intend to punish you or something. Otherwise, I hit you in the back, the bony area. I'm breaking your ribs now.
Yes, sir.
But I hit you in the areas where I can break something on you from your waist all the way up to your neck. I can break something on either side of the what do you call it? The backbone?
Spinal cord.
Spinal cord.
Yes, sir.
And if you want to damage that, you can put him on the ground, spin him over on his stomach, and stump the spinal cord, or stump the neck, and you can kill them. But you can kill them just with your hands. If you're hitting them right, like I said, if you can hit in order of something, like they have numbers, they can say hit C14, which means up and down, left or right, front and back. But you have to know where the pressure points are to be able to hit them. And I teach this in every class that I teach. I don't tell the student, but I teach them pressure points, areas to strike in. I tell them to strike here, to strike there, to strike here. I'm not giving them the order to kill, if you understand what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
There is an order to be able to kill. But
yes, sir.
There may come a day when my students will teach other students it's time.
Right.
See?
And then go down to, oh man. All right, Jock Nation. Hold up. Yeah, we got a commercial, but Jock Nation.
Just talk.
This is real science of fighting. We're not just using language here. This is real science of fighting. We have our commercial, and then we want to get into brain sight, sir. Brain sight. Yeah, I told you I got a cheat sheet over here. All right, brother Ahmed, go ahead.
Yes. Before we get into our sponsors, just wanted to show, if you wanted to learn and get into the school of this science, you can go on karateofthegods.com, karateofthegods.com, or make a phone call, 770-560-9502, 770-560-9502.
No, 02.
Yeah, that's one of the most important calls you can make that's teaching your family how to protect themselves in this wicked world that we live in. You can try to buy mace and all these other devices, give your child a knife or your wife, or you can learn the science of fighting, the science of protecting yourself and your family. So go on to karateofthegods.com and you can schedule yourself or your family to receive this special gift. Just wanted to give you a chance. This is the website. Or dial the number. Okay. Jock Brothers. Now we can be viewed on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. You can watch our previous videos on Facebook and YouTube at Jock Brothers. Just type in Jock Brothers. And you can go on to our website at jockbrothers.com, jockbrothers.com, where you can also see some of our previous videos where we're educating and giving information that helps the community and helps your family. And go on YouTube and subscribe. Give us a like. You can support us. At the bottom of the screen, you see Cash App, $ Jock Bros, $ Jock Bros. You can support us in helping us spread this righteous and positive information throughout the nation. You can also support our initiative by giving us information of your family members or friends who are incarcerated. We have a initiative. We're trying to push the baddest, boldest Black-owned newspaper, the Final Call newspaper, behind prison walls. So we're working. We have a valiant effort to get that newspaper to our brothers and sisters who are incarcerated at this time. So help us get this information to them. Help us spread this knowledge and wisdom throughout our community. Support us wherever you can and join our initiatives. Thank you. Back to you, Brother Jackie.
Excuse me. Thank you, Brother Ahmed. All right. The science of fighting, brothers and sisters, the science of fighting. Ain't no more of this right here. we scientific. We call out numbers, C14, C7, and we torquing. So we getting it in over here. We taking everything from you except pain. All right. Yes, sir. All right, brother. Joe Sabir Muhammad. What is brain sight?
There's a difference between brain sight and eyesight. If I ask you, what do you see with? What would be your answer?
Your eyes.
Yep. Your eyes.
If I put up two fingers, does your eyes tell you that, or does the brain tell you that?
The brain.
Then you see with the brain.
Come on now.
Do you understand? Everything that you do has to go through the brain. See, hear, taste, touch, smell, and sense. If it doesn't go to the brain, it's not there.
Yes, sir.
So brain sight has the ability to move as it see movements with no delay. This is a science for fighting, which says that you can throw a punch at me, I can pick it up at the time that it moves and move away from it at the same time you throw it. You find boxers that do that, like this young boxer named Shakur Stevens.
Yes, sir.
When he throw a punch, you see him move his head and move it back. The punch come, say, less than an inch to his face. And when the hand move back, he moves right back at you. That means he's using brain sight. They call it a high IQ. IQ now. See? So that means in order for him to do that, he has to see. And he has to see and identify. Because you can see movements and not identify it, it can hit you somewhere. You have to be able to see a movement and identify it, but it must be done at the same time. You absolutely have the mind of God. If you don't use it in whatever you do, then you may or may not accomplish what you would like to accomplish. Now, in the science of fighting, I use the mind of God. What, like brain sight has the ability to create and adapt instantly with no delay. Brain cannot be tricked or fooled once trained. It can and will adapt. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You have that ability, but most of us don't have any idea because we never go through anything to know and understand that having the mind of God, we are God's children of the Most High God.
Hmm.
Brain must be disciplined to overcome any and all obstacles, physical and mental, and we can do that. If you wish to do something, it's like running into a beautiful lady and you starting to fall in love with her. You do whatever is necessary to have her as your wife. That is the same thing that you should do to overcome whatever is in front of you. And it doesn't matter whether it's soft or gentle or hard.
Right.
You have the ability to overcome it. And Allah gives you a way to accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. I heard that it took the Creator 66 trillion years to bring himself into existence. Now think about that one.
Hmm.
Yeah. How much?
Six himself. Took 6 years to bring himself into existence.
6 what now?
6 trillion years to bring himself.
Oh, it's 6 trillion. My beautiful wife told me it's 6 trillion, now it's 66 trillion.
Yeah, all of that.
But just think about that.
Yes,
That
sir.
you have to create yourself. If he can create himself, what can't we do? Because we have the knowledge of our Creator within us. So anything, like when I decided to say, I'm going to create something that would make me devastating like a big dude when he hit. I created what I call torquing power. All the punches have torque in it, but not in the same way. If you see me do that at 83, you can see my body kind of bristle with that power. At 83 now, think about that. I asked my son, he was doing my hair for me. I said, son, do you think that I can still hit hard? What'd you say, Colin?
I said, yes, sir. I feel like
Say it again, Colin.
I said, I feel like you hitting harder than us still.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
if you continue to train, you can fight. And what is old age if you keep yourself in order?
Right.
Come on now.
If they say that there was someone by the name of Methuselah, he lived over 900 and some years, we can barely get to 60.
Hmm.
Right.
So if you keep yourself healthy, then you can stay healthy and be able to fight. Like my hands, the upper part of my body is very quick. In the military, I damaged my legs a lot from jumping out of planes and just training, going running up and down mountains and swimming. And I used a lot of my legs for all that energy. So I'm paying for that now with my legs. So my kicks are not that good, but my legs are starting to come back a little bit. So I'll be able to move and generate the kind of power in which I know that I can. But at 83, even that, most of my friends that are in the 80s like I am, they're either gone or they do nothing.
Hmm.
They don't teach. And karate actually keep me alive. When I get in front of the children, especially young children, I come alive. And,
Yes,
and I thank Allah for giving them to me so that I'll be able to teach them as long as He allowed me to stay here. I plan to be here for a few more minutes.
And you still exercise every day, huh?
Yes, sir. I teach every day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mm.
Yes, sir.
So what percentage of fighting is mental and what percentage is physical?
30% is actually physical.
30% is physical.
70% is mental.
Wow.
Now, that is something to think about when you fight. That information, that all the movements, everything that you put in your brain from the time of your conception until the day you die, is still there.
Mm.
You have to just pull. And when you get ready to fight, that information that you need, like I usually say, it's in the back of your head. As soon as you get ready to fight with somebody and say, I'll whip your head, that stuff shoot around to the front of your head. It's now the point. You hear what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
And you tell them now, they said, I'm from the show me stage. Show me. You're going to do what you say you're going to do.
Yes, sir.
So when that information comes, it feeds that information to you at an average speed of 24 billion miles per second. It creates off of that information that is being fed to you. It is fed from the subconscious to the conscious for actualization. And I do mean actualize, not just do something, but you can actualize that information. The brain has found a way to do what is necessary to go where you need to go. And that brain, every time you do something, the brain is not just remembering it, but it is mapping it. Like if you go somewhere and you map somewhere to go, you can now come back on that same trail.
Mm.
Or you can map another way to get
Right.
there. There's more than one way. So the brain is trying to help you. Every time you do something, it gets in there, and you in your brain and the God that is in
Freezing. Yeah, he
Froze up.
freezing. Yeah, he frozen. All right, Jock Nation.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
Okay.
yes, sir.
All right. I have one more question from the cheat sheet, sir. Would you explain to me 4 generations in the Martian sciences?
Oh, yes, sir. Every time I teach, and I might teach for 10 years or something like that, and all of a sudden something happened where I have to leave or the students just don't come back anymore or something, and I have to start all over. I have no black belts then. So every time that the students, the black belts leave, then another generation have to come in, like a second generation or third generation or fourth generation. I'm into my fourth generation now of different times that these different groups of students come in. This is my last one. There won't be any more if these brothers leave before Allah take me out of here. There will be no more because this is my last one. The number 4 is the number of foundation. It's like in my fighting science, I use 3, 4, and 9. I use 3 for trial. I use 4 for foundation. I use 9 for completion. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm.
I do. I do. But what do you apply it to? The time that a person is with you. What are you applying the 3, 4, and the 9 to?
Oh, no. It's like everything that comes in 3s is a trial. Like I'll say, long range, medium range, and short range. That's a trial.
Yes, sir.
And those are the only ranges. Some people say, well, there's a grappling range. I consider short range to be grappling range.
Right. Yes,
So
sir.
there's only 3: long range, medium range, and short range. Some of them say, "Oh, I got 5 or 6 or 7 ranges." I don't know how you got them, but there's about 100% chance they're not going to work
Mm.
because you only need 3. And within those 3 ranges, everything that you need is there. And you can only bring all your weapons to bear at short range. You can't bring all the weapons at long range. You can't bring all the weapons at medium range. You can only bring them. When you get medium range, you can shoot forearm, elbows, and knees and stomps. You can use all of that. Try using that at long range.
Mm.
Yeah, you get caught. Yes, sir.
You have to be at a certain distance. That's why I put distance number 1.
Yes, sir. Angles.
And then angles, then timing,
Timing
then
and
target.
technique. Target. Okay. Timing and target. Yes, sir. Man, this I really your style and your science, man, is really resonating with me. I can see it. So
I have a comical
go ahead.
question. I was telling the brothers about the time I challenged you in FOI class, and I really want to know what was on your mind when I squared up with
Torquing. Torque. He go, torque. How I'm a torque.
you. I mean, because you don't know what I know. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? I get one of these in there, right? It could be a whole different arena, you know. So I really want to know, what was you thinking when you stood up against me? I mean, really.
I don't usually think about fighting another FOI. You're going to have to push me into that. But the love for the FOI or the nation is 100% true, accurate, and precise, brother.
Go ahead.
You hear what I'm saying? So, and I tell a FOI that talk to me really smart, you can say what you want to say, but you cannot put your hands on me. Now, if you put your hands on me, I have a right to lay hands on you.
Lay hands.
That's right.
We getting baptized over here, brother.
That's right.
He's going to
Amen,
baptize you, brother, with some torque. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. All right, 3 to 5 seconds. Fighting style, sir. 3 to 5.
In 3 to 5 seconds, like I said, you must be able to use one of those long range, medium range, short range, but you cannot do it with long range, because when you hit with long range, depending on the guy's jaw, I guess you can hit him with a long range because boxers do it. But most of the time, it's short range that put them out immediately. Long range make them get dizzy, so they stumble back. If you see boxing, have you ever noticed that? When they go down immediately and right away, it is a short range hook or a short range punch to the chin or something like that.
Yes, sir.
That put them down. So what you want to do in that 3 to 5, you must have areas of that body that you damage them when you fight them. When you hit them with the first movement, and they cannot, and you have to have a weapon science where they cannot stop you. You throw something at me. Remember what I said? I said I conform to that blow. And in between the second blow, there is time. And I must be able to time that hand when it come out to be sending something as I redirect it off of my body. I'm already sending a weapon at you. If you see it, then it's gonna stop you and make you try to check that hand that I'm sending back at you. That is where my center line trapping comes from. And because of the way I set you up for that trap, when I throw that punch, you're going to have to come cross angle. When you do, I'll wipe that hand away and send something behind that. You can even check that one. As long as I'm coming at you and you moving away from me, I'm at an advantage over you. And the guy said, well, I can run away. I said, not unless you turn your back, because you can't run backwards faster than I can come forward. I'm going to win that match. Do you understand? And if you turn your back, I'm going to walk up your back and down your face.
And there's more to come back right here, man.
That's right.
Dude,
I'm going to hit you.
Comeback, man. This dude, he say, I'm going to turn you on your stomach and press your spine.
I think it froze up, Kyle.
I mean, when I hear him talking, I hear, you know, these punches are coming at like serious speed, and you're talking as if you're seeing them like almost like this.
You don't believe,
and then you can just do your thing. It seems like, you know, it's almost like they're in slow motion the way you're describing it. You know, are you that comfortable? Are you that comfortable fighting now that when you're in the fight, everything seems to be slow motion to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know,
He couldn't hear you.
He can't hear us.
Oh, there you are. I can hear you now.
Okay, go ahead, Kyle. We ask it again.
Well, what I was saying is, you're talking as if everything is super slow motion to you. The way you orchestrate a whole scenario of punches and kicks within 3 seconds. It's almost like, well, when he do this, I know I'm gonna do this, and it's like, I mean, are you so comfortable in fighting now that it's almost like it's slow motion to you, and it's just like a dance, like it's already pre-script?
Oh no, you have the ability to make movements appear slow. And because of the average speed of thought, 24 billion miles per second, remember nothing comes that fast. So it will appear slow. Like I said, if you see the
Oh, he froze again. Okay.
Yeah.
be back in a second.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right, Jock Nation. So you have been thoroughly taught the science of fighting. There's a science to it. 3 to 5 seconds, we engage and we disengage. In 3 to 5 seconds, we engage again.
I know Brother Johnny talking about we better be in class now. Since we
Yeah, I'm definitely that's definitely yeah, he has a science to it.
oh,
You
no
can
doubt.
go, you can go on this website and you can join the class. They have a virtual class and they also have an in-house class. You can go on the website, karateofthegods.com, or dial the phone number 770-560-9502, 770-560-9502. Book your training. Be part of that fourth generation. Be part of that fourth generation.
Yes, sir.
It's going down now. It's going down right now.
Yes, sir. All right, brother C. Joe. We are at the end. We want to, man. This was some heavy teaching. Definitely, I'll bring brother Kawhi over because he need a little teaching on brain sight. He don't understand and torquing. So we can teach him. We can have a brain sight and torquing class real quick. So man, could you we normally close out want to get some words from you. Would you give us your final words? Let Jock Nation, let the people know what you would like them to do or whatever you would like to say, sir. Please.
I would like to see before Allah take me out of here that our people become one people again as we were before and come together and work for ourselves. We have a generation of children that is just floating around out there doing nothing, that loves Islam, but also love their people. They need help in trying to do the things in which they do. And they're out there. We have what they call, huh? Come and say it. We have an organization like Assad the God. We have that organization, and there's young people from all over that's within that organization, and they need help and guidance as to some of the directions in which they'll do the work, but they need people to help them in the guidance of where they need to go and get the help in which they need to be able to get to where they need to go.
Yes, sir.
And so if there's any way, and like Ahmed, I think you know about that, don't you, Ahmed?
Yes, sir, 100%.
Yes, sir. So, and all the organization, we need to bring them together.
That's right.
Yes,
I
sir.
tried to do that in martial arts. It's very difficult because everybody want to be the potentate or whatever the leader is, and
Yes,
that's
sir.
not going to happen. You know, that everybody has something to offer, but you have to have someone at the head to help us, and that person must be a person that is very valuable to us in order to be able to do that. But we can't do that because everybody sees themselves as being the valuable one. And we may not look at it as a group that you are that. So let us choose the one. And when we choose that one, they don't want to be bothered with us. Do you understand what I'm saying? And we're never going to build anything unless we have pride, and you're supposed to have that. But if other people want someone for the leadership, then let me help you. Well, that's what I'm here for. Just let me help you. I'll be satisfied with that.
Mm.
So we've got to learn to work together, my brother. And we have the children that will get out there and work for us, but you have to bring them together and make them love each other. Not really make them love each other. Show them how to love each other as adult men and women.
Very good
And they
point.
can do anything that you ask them to do. They're created for this day. We brought them into existence.
Yes, sir.
So if we brought them here, they'll do what we asked them to do if they respect us. And we have to get their respect back again. You know.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. But thank you, brother Cjo. Brother Kawi.
Oh yes, sir. Before I give final words, I would just want to get a couple of shout outs to some of the viewing audience. We got just to let you know, brother Cjo, you had a lot of people watching you tonight. You got Jimmy Eggs, you got DJ Rockwell, a few of your students, brother Johnny. You have Atala, that's your daughter, Richard, Gregory, Hunter, Hamza, somebody named Ike T, Motor. I mean, you got a lot of people just tune in to watch you tonight. Oh, brother Jay White. So I really appreciated your answer, brother Cjo. You know, Alpha Eyes on Fight Each Other. I was really hoping that you wouldn't in class that you wouldn't do that. I was playing. You was dead serious, and you was very merciful, and I really appreciate you that day because and I just never forgot it. But I want to say I really appreciate you coming to the show and just dropping the type of wisdom that you dropped tonight. I actually heard it before, but it really seemed like you put a little extra, like a little extra something into it tonight. And I heard you a lot clearer tonight than what I heard you previously. Man, you really intrigued my interest to want to get into the arts. And I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, I'm over 50, and I'm like, wow, man, I should have been doing this like 30 years ago. I want, like I got so like, physically on move the same and everything like that. But I'm gonna give it a shot. Me and my son out to Savings Day because he wants to do it. And so this night kind of like sealed the deal as to the science that we're going to choose to go into. And so I appreciate you and what you brought to what you bring to the table. And so again, man, you keep talking this stuff about, man, when the good Lord take us out. I know that day is gonna come for everybody though, but I just see so much energy in you. Like I don't see this going away no time soon, and it better not. I mean, I can see you 20 years from now still throwing like little short jabs in the teaching, just the way you teaching right now. I really don't see no stopping it. And so, so if that's the case, hopefully I could be a 20-year student when in the next 20 years, of your life. So thank you for what you brought to the table. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Bring Ahmed. I'll show you what I can do.
He said he's gonna be a 20-year, he's gonna be 70.
That's right.
You're gonna have a 70-year-old. Let me ask though, before you speak, Ahmed, does that make a difference? Because what he said was he's 50. And I'm wondering, does that make a difference as far as him coming to train with you right now?
I want to say this, my brother. At 50, I was like I was in my 20s.
Yes, sir.
You hear what I didn't start when I start. My legs start really bothering me. It is because I start doing protective service where I was standing or sitting all the time and not use of legs. So my legs start to break down. But at the age in which you are now, if you just do a little bit of something every day, you'll start to see how you come back in your diet. If you eat and as well as you can and do a little exercise every day, you can continue to do that. And like I don't really get sick. My legs are sick, but the inside of my body is not sick. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That means I could be here for a lot longer than if I was sick all over my body. I'm not. I'm sick below my waistline because of my legs. I'm sick. So take care of yourself, but work out every day if you can. Even if you just get out there and shadow box a little bit, or just move around, or run in place, do some push-ups or something like that. Even if you start off with 5, build to 10, then to 20, then to 30, then to 50, you will build. And you have a way of building the muscles. They say that older people uh, can't build muscles. Uh, I want to let you know I got a few ripples in my stomach here. and, and I got some guns on me too.
Yes, sir.
All of this is for Ahmed, though.
I don't want none of that smoke, brother.
None of that smoke. All right, brother Ahmed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We appreciate so much that you have done. I mean, words just can't. It just don't do it. I mean, you're a household name from the East Coast to the West Coast and back. You've trained generations. You pour so much into your students. Your science has been duplicated. You've duplicated yourself into generations, brothers and their children and their children's children. We're watching 6 and 7 year olds perform your science, and like I said, words can't. You pour so much into your students, but you don't know how much you prepare us for confrontations and trials. You built the science in us that when we face adversities, it's almost like we got to win. I mean, there's nothing else but to win. It's not a retreat. It's not a, now, you know, I mean, if there's guns involved, we're going to be wise and intelligent. But what you've put in us is just that. And I tell everybody that somebody close to me, they have to get it. But if I have a little distance, I might pardon them. Now I might pardon them, you know. But you've built it. You've built this up, this in us, and we thank you. And all the time that I've trained in you, in my mind is always when I'm faced with a confrontation, you pop up and all the things that you've taught us verbally, all the information that you compiled into your science and your paperwork that you constantly teach us verbally and physically. It's just it's priceless. And brother, we just pray that this continues on and you love it all the way till Allah, you know, decides to make that move. But we're here for you and we're here to support you any way possible. We thank you. Humbly.
And if you need me, brother, I'll be there for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, I was watching an interview that you did before, and you said, I don't underteach a man. Why would I underteach him when he might have to have my back?
Come on.
You know, and just your philosophy, just listening to you and your understanding and just your train of thought, brother, is I mean, it was intriguing. I haven't trained under you before. I think me and you met one time. I came to you and said, "Are you brother CJ?" You said, "Yeah, man, but don't beat me." The first thing you said, but definitely, I'm definitely gonna bring my family through, brother, and get some brain sight, some torque.
Yes, sir.
Learn some distance, angles, timing.
And target.
Then target. Yes, sir. So praise be to Allah for Allah blessing you with this science, and praise be to Allah for you not being niggardly, and you're sharing this science as much as you can. You make your students go out and they begin teaching, and that's a reflection of you, you know. So that right there carries your name into the future. So
Yes, sir.
may Allah continue to bless you and your family. I know you now. I know you're a wonderful family. I definitely know you're a wonderful family. One or two was upset with me, brother Jackie. You know, but this is drill season. You know, so may Allah bless you all. And look, Jock Nation, we just gave you some beautiful information. It does not matter of your age. It does not matter your size. You can learn how to fight. You can learn how to create power within yourself, within your body. You can learn how to use your brain for sight, hearing, tasting, understanding, and learn how to defend yourself. We are in a crucial time. This is the time of war. This is the time that the Bible predicted wars and rumors of war. War is coming. We're going to have to face it. So why not prepare ourselves to go into the future? So thank you, Jock Nation, for listening. Thank you, Brother Cjo, for visiting us. Thank you. We hope to have you back again. May Allah continue to bless us. Jock Nation, that was a big one there. Another one.